Okay, well, everybody, today is a very special day. My name's John Barton. I'm the VP of Sales for Engage. You are gathered here to hear from a gentleman that's an absolute legend in the wellness and optimal living space, the radiation protection space, and you'll get to hear from him in just a moment. He had decades or years in tens of millions of dollars devoted to making the best product known to humankind at helping with supporting the body. And while he was this brilliant scientist and this brilliant researcher known the world over, his specialty was in creating products that can help people. But he needed somebody equally brilliant to bring this product to the market. So Dr. Prasad met this gentleman, Dave Nemelka, who graduated from the Wharton Business School, was a super successful venture capitalist, but he had a huge heart and passion for spreading health and goodness. And despite the years and the millions of dollars and the just financial results that he had, when he saw Dr. Prasad, their vision of helping people kind of came to fruition. And a product like this, it could be the best product on the planet, but if you don't have somebody with Dave Nemelka's vision and his leadership, you don't get a product like this to the masses. They say that Thomas Edison wasn't the guy that invented the light bulb. He was the one that brought the light bulb and its technology to the masses. Most of us don't even know who that original light bulb inventor was. So without somebody like Dave Nemelka at the helm of our company, Dr. Prasad's greatest product known to humankind would have ended right there. So I'm really proud to partner with Dave Nemelka and the rest of our team. It's been an absolute blast, my short 8-9 months with this family, but it's been an absolute joy, and it's just the beginning. So if you two, well, sorry, not you two, if everyone here can help me welcome up our CEO and founder, Mr. Dave Nemelka.
Well, thank you. Thanks, John, and happy Tuesday to everybody. Tonight is the inaugural night of Dr. Prasad and I doing a once a month education on his products. You know, Dr. Prasad taught medical school for over 30 years. He was involved in 30 years of research with National Institute of Health and other fundings, perfecting his knowledge of micronutrition and human health. And we thought that it would be a real treat and hopefully a big benefit to all of you to take you to the next level, to take you to a new dimension of understanding human health. John talked about Dr. Prasad's most scientifically validated product in the world, Micro Daily, which is what brought Dr. Prasad and I together as partners in our mission to bring health and goodness to this world. But Dr. Prasad and I, in collaboration, we've also tapped into his over 50, well, it's over 50 years now, Dr. Prasad, you just turned 89, over 50 years of knowledge about the human body. And so once a month, he and I are going to come together and we are going to educate and inform you about the details behind why his products are so special as compared to anything else in the world. And once a month on a night like tonight, we are going to have a special offer that's just for this audience today. Now, if you want to share that offer with others, that's for you to share. But tonight, we're going to have a very special offer for you also. So we're going to get started right now. And tonight, we're going to talk about CBD Boost. We have not talked about CBD, Dr. Prasad, very much, really, since we launched it, you know, a few years ago.
That's true.
And so the power of CBD, we just launched our Sleep Boost, and Sleep Boost and CBD work together in a way that no other products do. And so we want to take tonight and we want to educate you as it relates to CBD Boost and help enlighten you as to why the CBD Boost can be something that helps you. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to talk about this very special product. It's a product that I personally take twice a day, and I've been taking it ever since we launched it. Gosh, I can't remember the launch date. I think it's 3 or 4 years now, Dr. Prasad, when we launched it.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It's been a while. I've been taking it, and this product has had a significant impact on me in my life and a significant impact on my mother. She takes it every day, swears by it, along with her Micro Daily and other Dr. Prasad products. My brother takes it. I have a sister who takes it. My children take it. So let's just start by saying the David Nemelka family are strong believers in this product, CBD Boost. So without too much more fanfare, let's get into it, Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
So the challenge with that many of us struggle with is with increasing stress levels in our daily life. I don't know about you, but as a father of 5, I've had my ups and downs in business. When you're in venture capital, there's plenty of stresses with the ups and downs of the stock market and the ups and downs of companies. Building Engage into a company that is significantly impacting human health, there's some stress involved, and I can tell you this is a challenge. Also, many people struggle with maintaining their focus and their concentration. Interestingly enough, just recently, someone who I love said, David, how are you so focused? And I hadn't really thought about it until she asked that question. And I realized since I've been taking the CBD, in my mind, I get laser focused on the things that and the tasks I'm doing, the things I'm doing. Also, challenges with managing anxiety. It's the same with stress and anxiety. It's a part of everyday life for so many of us. And then many of us struggle with our sleep, the quality and restfulness. I can tell you, since I've been taking CBD Boost, it is a rare night I do not get a full sleep. And many of my nights are full of many interesting dreams. So we're going to talk about the answer to these challenges, and it's CBD. It's a natural compound found in hemp plants. Many people associate CBD with marijuana, but tonight we're going to talk about the CBD that comes from hemp. Hemp and marijuana are two different plants. They're related to each other, but they're different, and they're different in a big way. CBD is non-psychoactive, and it offers many benefits without the high that you get from the THC in marijuana. It's known for its calming and therapeutic effects. As Dr. Prasad, I know as you did your research, the history of CBD goes back, I think, thousands of years, does it not?
Yes, yes.
And so CBD is something that's been around for a long time, and it is proven in effectiveness and relaxation and stress relief. And once again, the CBD that we have is a CBD isolate. It does not contain THC. It is not marijuana. It is not going to make you high. So CBD Boost is one of our boost products for our core products of Micro Daily and Micro Daily EMF. It's your daily dose of getting balance. Oops, sorry about that. CBD Boost brings a potent formulation designed to cater to your wellness needs. It's crafted with purity and potency in mind. Nothing that Dr. Prasad puts on the market isn't third-party tested, isn't pure, isn't of the absolute highest quality, and CBD Boost falls into that category. It's state-of-the-art extraction methods. Fortunately, a very good friend of mine who was involved in some of the venture capital I did, he's made, let's just say, hundreds of millions of dollars. When CBD was being legalized, he decided to create a pharmaceutical grade CBD extraction and processing facility. That's where we get our CBD from, is from someone who is a personal friend of mine who has created a high quality pharmaceutical grade CBD extraction facility. We've harnessed the power of CBD in easy and convenient to use forms, just a capsule. And whether you're looking to enhance your focus, manage your unease, or simply unwind after a long day and get a good night's sleep, CBD Boost is a natural solution that will help you with your overall well-being. So now CBD Boost Isolate, it's unique in that it's THC-free, it's GMO-free, it's gluten-free, it's US grown. In fact, our hemp is specifically grown in Oregon, and it is hemp-derived, not marijuana-derived, as we talked about. It's third-party tested, and in fact, it's tested by the state of Utah, not just by a third-party lab. It's tested by the state. So it's tested and certified by the state of Utah as being exactly what we're telling you it is, and it is registered with the state of Utah, and we are approved for sale throughout the United States. So that's the nuts and bolts about what our CBD boost is. Now, Dr. Prasad, let's get into the science. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Yes.
Well, Dr. Prasad, there's nobody more qualified to talk about the science behind CBD than you. As many of you know, Dr. Prasad was the world's first radiation biology PhD. He has over 250 peer-reviewed scientific journal articles. He's written articles, science articles on CBD and CBD in combination with micronutrition. Dr. Prasad has published 32 books. He is world renowned as an expert on micronutrition. He was invited by the Nobel Prize Committee to nominate candidates in medicine. He was president of the National Society for Cancer and Nutrition. And in fact, what brought me to Dr. Prasad, one of the compelling things was when I was introduced to the original Micro Daily and I saw the science behind it, it sparked some memories in me. After I graduated from the Wharton School, I went to Procter & Gamble in brand management healthcare. While I was there, my first project that they assigned me on was to look at the vitamin industry. In fact, they were looking at acquiring a major vitamin supplement that many of you know. In fact, it was Centrum. They had me doing research on the antioxidants and micronutrient science that was coming out at the time. And unbeknownst to me, at the time, much of that research was written by Dr. Prasad, who ultimately has become my partner, and we share this mission of bringing health and goodness to the world. So I don't know of anyone more qualified than Dr. Prasad. And Dr. Prasad, we're going to get a little geeky with people tonight. So let's take them through some of the nuts and bolts and the real details of the science behind CBD. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go, everybody. Get your notepads out. Just think of yourself as like a student in medical school at the University of Colorado, because Dr. Prasad taught thousands of doctors, and now you're going to sit at the feet of the master and learn some more of the very specific science behind CBD. So here you go, Doctor. We'll talk about the relationship between CBD and the endocannabinoid system.
Yes, as you know, the CBD is one of the major cannabinoid in hemp and marijuana plant, which belongs to the family of Sativia, that is the family of the plant. Hemp plant has a 0.3% THC, whereas marijuana plant has 20%. CBD is the only non-toxic compound which stimulates the endocannabinoid system, which is another defense system in our body in addition to antioxidant defense system. And this is, many people don't realize how important it is. And you will see that it is very, very important for your health. And the CBD is the only one non-toxic chemicals that can activate, that can enhance the activity of endocannabinoid system. So it's very, very important. In addition to that, CBD also works by itself on certain receptor. So there are double function of CBD, you have to remember. One is it works through the endocannabinoid and receptor system, and I will tell you in more detail, but it also acts directly. Endocannabinoid defense system consists of, you can see they have already defined these things. They have two small molecule called anandamide and 2-AG. And anandamide, in Sanskrit in India, Ayurvedic medicine is happiness. So they call this product as make you happy. And endocannabinoid, it has also this endocannabinoid system has a two receptor, CB1 and CB2. They also have a synthesizing and degrading enzyme of these molecules. And elevation of anandamide can activate CB1 and CB2. CBD is the only safe agent that enhance the level of anandamide and 2-AG to perform their function. There are few synthetic enhancer of the level of anandamide and 2-AG, but they have not been tested in human, and most likely they could be toxic.
So Dr. Prasad, if I'm understanding you right, what you're saying is that our body has two systems for fighting oxidative stress and
That's
inflammation.
correct.
One system is the antioxidant system, and that antioxidant system is what the micronutrients work through. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay, and so that's where our Micro Daily and Brain Boost and Eye Boost and these other products that we have, that's how they work, is through the antioxidant system. Is
That's
that
right. And this thing is that endocannabinoid system also has a weak antioxidant and weak and inflammation activity, but they work by different mechanism.
Okay, and so then
combination give additive effect.
so then the endocannabinoid system, that works more through what
Receptor.
your nervous system, and that's why
Yes.
you see the benefits from CBD is it's helping to neutralize that oxidative stress in the nervous system or the endocannabinoid system, and then it does that by activating what I understand you saying, the CB1 and the CB2 systems, the receptors. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so, and then that's where the power of CBD being, when it's taken with the micronutrients, is that you're now really working with the body in the two major systems that fight oxidative stress and inflammation.
That's very important because you mentioned that the anxiety and the stress. There is another component of that which is related to is that stress, chronic stress can lead to a depression. And in depression, and so these are all linked. Stress, anxiety can lead to depression. And in all those events, increased oxidative stress and inflammation has been proven to be true. They happen, they initiate in a brain the phenomena that leads to stress, anxiety, and depression. And when you have increased oxidative stress, they induce also neuroinflammation, in other words, inflammation in the brain. So together, they become more dangerous for affecting your brain functions.
So Dr. Prasad, I know that we have an epidemic of anxiety and stress and depression, especially in the younger generations. And I know many of the older are experiencing it too. Do you think that that's because of like we talk about social media and our phones, the stimulation that we're getting?
Yeah, there are a lot of factors, external factor, relationship, somebody saw sad events, many things can cause it. External thing can cause depression, anxiety, okay. But they all increases the oxidative stress and inflammation. If that does not happen, then you would not get anxiety and depression. And
so
therefore, to depress that, it is almost essential to have a micro daily EMF for example, micronutrient, and as well as CBD, because CBD works on a different pathway, micronutrient work for the different pathway. So not only that, but in all these cases, stress, anxiety, depression, when people are measured, they have also intestinal dysbiosis. All of them have intestinal dysbiosis, and supplementation with probiotics in a clinical some study have shown to be improved. But okay. just addressing just one site, one defect is not sufficient. We have to address all. That's why, for example, for depression and anxiety and stress, a combination of micro daily EMF, this CBD and probiotics would be a perfect.
Okay. Well, let's continue on with some more of the science here. So let's talk about how CBD enhances the endocannabinoid defense system, and it reduces the glutamate release.
Yes, and this is very important because there is no other way you can increase the release of the glutamate except CBD prevent the release. Wow, because it stimulates the CB1 or CB2 receptor, and then they act on a so that glutamate cannot be released. And glutamate is very important. Excessive release of glutamate can cause hyperactivity that you see many times in autism or something like that. ADHD is another example. And so So it is very important to remember that CBD, the antioxidant cannot prevent the release. Antioxidant prevent the already released glutamate toxicity, but to release it, you have to prevent the release. So you combine these with the, say, CBD with antioxidant, you do both. You prevent the release, and you already prevented the toxicity of glutamate, which has already been released.
Okay. So that's another key function of CBD then.
Extremely important function.
Okay. So let's talk about the source of our CBD. So hemp plants only have 0.3% of THC. And I can tell you, after the processing, when we do our testing for THC in our CBD, it's negligible, meaning it doesn't even register sufficiently to be on the chart of what we have.
Right.
So let's talk about the cannabinoids in a hemp plant.
Well, there are many. You can see that cannabinoid, and then one is CBG, which is a precursor of CBD. Many people claim that they sell it in a commercial market, but CBD is the most effective form of cannabinoid.
Okay, so
and there are some oil, for example, seeds of this plant, hemp plant, does not have any cannabinoid. So many times people use oil,
yeah.
Some of those
So-
doesn't have enough CBD.
So what you're saying is that if someone is buying hemp oil, it very likely doesn't even have CBD in it.
CBD, very little, if any.
So hemp
Pretty
oil is
isolated.
not something that you want to buy. Now, the hemp plant has CBD, which is the major cannabinoid. It has CBG and a bunch of other minor cannabinoids. And our hemp is grown in Oregon, and it's tracked and traced to the bottle that each one of you purchase.
That's correct.
So,
Now,
Dr.
here is
Prasad,
another.
there's a lot of confusion about CBD products out there. So let's talk.
That's
I know
right.
this is an area this was an interesting area, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when I talk to you. I sent you some studies that some people had shared with me, but CBD is promoted as full spectrum, which is CBD that has everything that a hemp plant has, including high levels of THC. So why don't you speak to what full spectrum, how you feel about full spectrum CBD?
Yeah, because this is addictive. It will mess up your brain. So you don't want to take a full spectrum.
So Dr. Prasad, you don't recommend full spectrum. And is there any reason or any science that you've seen that shows full spectrum is more effective?
No, not only it is not more effective, but it has THC, which will make you addictive. That means it will be interfering with your brain function.
Now, I remember I showed you a study. Someone had told me how a full spectrum they did a study in Israel, in fact, with full spectrum.
That was a full extent. I reviewed that. You sent me that paper. That was full spectrum. That
was full spectrum and compared to CBD, but you caught something in the study that I don't think
that's
most
right.
people
Yeah, it was dose related. When you did look the chart showed that CBD at a lower dose was more effective than the full spectrum at higher doses.
That's right. That's right. And in addition, you notice that it was a rat study, that the rats on the full spectrum and the rats that were just on the CBD, that they didn't have the rats without the CBD, with the CBD didn't have any food in their stomach. And so CBD is you need food in your stomach for CBD to be properly absorbed. Is that correct?
But that's for the most of the micronutrient.
Right, because you've got the water soluble and fat soluble. And CBD is fat soluble.
Any fat soluble needs some food.
Okay. So Dr. Prasad, let's continue on talking here about
broader spectrum has everything
CBD.
hemp plant has except THC.
What about broad spectrum CBD? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, because this is what we also see in literature, and they claim it is better, but this is not true. So I think this is even though it doesn't have a THC, but you have some other junk, that you don't need it.
I know you're concerned about purity when you're looking at full spectrum and broad spectrum.
Yes.
You're also concerned about purity with CBD oil or hemp oil. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Because you don't know how much their CBD is. If And here, dose is not well defined in under those conditions. And that will we feel that CBD isolate, and in many studies have shown that CBD isolate is very, very good and more effective than any other cannabinoid.
And once again, hemp oil from seeds has no CBD or very little CBD.
Very
so
little.
that's not something you want.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we talk about the protective actions of CBD?
Yeah, as we were discussing before, CBD elevates. CBD, one of the non-toxic substance that can elevate endocannabinoid system. In that system, it elevates the level of anandamide, which activate cannabinoid receptor CB1 and CB2. CBD also reduce inflammation by activating CB2. So this is very important. It directly influences inflammation. And so is the antioxidant. So the combination works very good because they work by different mechanisms. C also exhibits a weak antioxidant by activating CB1 receptor. And so you can see that it has some commonality with the antioxidant, but it is a weak one. And combination will have a more effect on the reducing oxidative stress and inflammation than individual agents. CBD also activates non-cannabinoid receptor, such as serotonin. It directly activates serotonin. Why? Because if your serotonin level is high in the cell, then you feel calm and quiet. This is extremely important. And CBD also directly activates dopamine receptor, which is also important. It makes you happy. And adenosine receptor, which is also very important for your brain function. So it acts directly on this receptor. Not only CBD acts via cannabinoid receptor, but this is uniqueness of CBD that it directly acts on this certain non-cannabinoid receptor like serotonin, dopamine, and adenosine.
So this is why it's so effective in helping people with anxiety and stress,
Exactly.
feeling calm.
And that is another way that they increase the serotonin level. CBD stimulates serotonin receptor that we discussed. And it also inhibits serotonin reuptake, causing increase in the level of serotonin. And FDA-approved drug like Prozac and Zoloft, that's exactly the same. They also act as an inhibitor of serotonin reuptake. And CBD also does exactly the same thing without toxicity, because some of those system is toxic. Prozac or long-term has a lot of activity. So we have to concern.
Okay.
So you can see that Prozac and Zoloft, which are routinely is FDA-approved drug, but they act as a inhibitor of serotonin reuptake. And so is the CBD does, but it has no toxicity. Very important to remember.
Okay, so let's also talk about CBD and how it relates to Alzheimer's.
Yeah, CBD again, it also exhibits neuroprotective, antioxidant, anti-inflammation that we discussed. But another important function, it reduces the production of beta amyloid production. And beta amyloid has been implicated. It causes neuronal death. It will cause death. And the way the beta amyloid causes death, it generates a lot of free radicals. So there also is, not only if you combine with antioxidant and say CBD, then it reduces the beta amyloid production, and antioxidant will protect already which are there toxicity.
And so you reference a study here by Carl.
Yeah.
Or by Carl.
Yeah.
T. Watt. So in that study, you're showing that it prevented and reversed cognitive dysfunction in animal models. And so
yeah, hyperphosphorylation of tau protein is also participate in Alzheimer's disease. And so you can see that it reduces not only production of amyloid protein, but also hyperphosphorylation of tau protein, which participate in the initiation and progression of Alzheimer's disease.
So you're saying that CBD can be a positive in brain health?
Yeah, definitely. It has
Okay.
very, very multiple function.
So let's talk about a few other functions of CBD.
Yeah, for example, CBD, we mentioned briefly, it reduces the production of excitatory neurotransmitter like glutamate. Glutamate is they will excite people, hyperactivity. And also it enhances the production of a gamma aminobutyric acid. And both of them combined will calm you down your hyperactivity. And that is very common in autism. So this is a must kind of for treatment of autism, including of CBD.
And so that's
It
a
also
study
reduces pain and anxiety, like we discussed, it reduces pain. Many people have a chronic pain. It can reduce it because it prevents the message. Nerves cannot send the message to the brain that you have a pain. And again, those have been published there. CBD effects mediated by endocannabinoid receptor system, we discussed that.
Sorry, Dr. Prasad.
Yeah.
Okay.
We discussed all these.
Okay. And so the functions of CBD, these are scientific studies that you're referencing by Prechk and Soares and Stanley.
Yeah.
And these are very high level journals that these have been published in. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And also, I've synthesized many studies in my publication where we have said that, where I emphasize the importance of core 4 in the prevention and improved treatment of Alzheimer's disease that we have already published that.
Okay. So let's talk about some additional functions of CBD.
Yeah. For example, CBD increases we mentioned level of anandamide, one of the cannabinoid system which stimulates CBD receptor, and you can see the people who have done this study. It directly stimulates non-cannabinoid receptor such as serotonin receptor, dopamine receptor, and adenosine receptor, and you see that those paper has been published in a very respectable journal. It acts as an inhibitor of serotonin reuptake. It should be not uptake, but reuptake. It prevents the chronic lasting anxiety and fear in human and in animal model, including PTSD. Because in PTSD treatment, they use an inhibitor of serotonin reuptake to reduce the anxiety. And so you can see that the CBD does exactly the same thing with no toxicity.
So what are your conclusions about CBD once again, Dr. Prasad?
Because CBD is safe and legal. CBD isolate is the best form for effectiveness. CBD reduces anxiety, depression, and fear by increasing the level of serotonin and dopamine in humans with chronic diseases. CBD reduces hyperactivity and agitation by reducing the level of glutamate and increasing the level of gamma aminobutyric acid. This is summary of the function of the. But again, I want to emphasize that CBD, if you combine with antioxidant, would be much more effective. If you combine with the antioxidant, CBD, and probiotics, that would be the best for your health if you have a fear, anxiety, or depression.
Okay. So really, and then also if you combine it with the core 4, which is the microdaily EMF.
But for example, everybody always wants to look young, including me.
Yeah.
And so, but collagen peptide have no direct role in reducing fear and depression. But again, it helps you maintain your brain function, everything. So your brain has to be functional to accept the CBD beneficial effect.
So what you're really saying is if you want the maximum benefit from CBD, take microdaily or microdaily EMF and take probiotic. That will enhance the effectiveness of CBD.
Yeah, and again, and what does, as I mentioned, that CBD, the collagen, when reduces, is 30% of your total body protein is collagen. That it is present in every place, in every organ in your body, brain, kidney, prostate, any place. And when you collagen reduces, decreases, then you can see in your skin, but you don't see in your brain, you don't see in your, but they have shown, especially in Alzheimer cases, that brain shrinks because collagen, one of the major function of collagen is to maintain a structural integrity of all organs. Otherwise, they will start shrinking. So from that point of view, in order to maintain a brain function optimally, you maintain so that it does not get reduced there and maintain their function. And there has been a clinical trial where collagen peptides used in a patient with Alzheimer's disease, and they indeed found that certain part of the brain shrinks. And then when they treated with collagen peptides, then a structure improved of the brain and cognitive function markedly improved too.
So what you're saying is that by taking micro daily probiotic and collagen with CBD, the brain's going to be at its healthiest that it can be to get the maximum.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, Dr. Prasad, I want to talk about what makes CBD Boost special. And really, you've developed this philosophy. You've developed this standard for proprietary formulations that we call CQF. And the CQF, it's number one is you want to make sure you have the right combination. And so you've got our CBD Boost formulated in doses that can be used in combination with the other products.
Yes, right.
Cancer effectiveness. That's just what you were talking about.
Right.
Also in the right quantity. So you've identified the safe doses and that act directly on serotonin and dopamine receptors to activate that endocannabinoid system. So you need to have the right quantity. So we have 25 milligram capsules, which people can then get the right quantity for their personal needs.
That's right.
But then also the final piece is the right form. And so we've talked about full spectrum, broad spectrum. We've talked about hemp oil, but the right form of CBD is CBD isolate that's pure and it's more effective than other forms of CBD. So that makes CQF of why your CBD Boost is special. Is that right?
Yes.
So once again, we've talked a lot about the benefits. I want to just kind of wrap this up for everybody so you can catch a clear vision of what the CBD Boost can do for you. It can enhance your focus, sharpen your concentration for better productivity. It can help with stress. It supports the natural reduction of stress levels for a calmer state of mind. It helps you have unease management, anxiety management, helps in managing the general unease and promoting a sense of calm.
I don't know if it attached to her.
It improves your sleep quality. It aids in achieving a more restful and deeper sleep, and just enhances an overall wellness supports your body's natural balance for improved wellness. That's why we're here to bring health and goodness into your lives. Let's talk a little about the dosage, Dr. Prasad. I know that the FDA's approved CBD isolate for epilepsy. And what you taught me is that the FDA approved it for up to 750 milligrams per day for children, and they determined that is safe.
Children with epilepsy, yeah.
So that's quite a high dosage, Dr. Prasad, is it not?
Yeah, it is high dose, but the thing is that suppose generally what they found later on, that if you take for longer period of time high doses, then what happens, it inhibits the liver enzyme called P450. And this enzyme is responsible for degrading all your drug metabolism. That many people take drug, then if your liver enzyme is inhibited, your drug will accumulate in your blood and cause toxicity. So that's why I said high dose we cannot use, because most of our people use some kind of medication. Children use it. But in an adult, most of the people, older people, use some kind of medication, and they can increase it. So
So
that's
based on that science and based on these FDA studies, you're recommending 200 milligrams maximum per day, which is 8 capsules of CBD boost. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So Dr. Prasad is recommending on the upper end 8 capsules in a day. Now, what we have found and what science has shown is that each person is very unique.
Right,
And so,
exactly.
So everybody responds to CBD a little differently. Some people do 1 capsule. Some people, like myself, I do 4 capsules. I do 100 milligrams a day. I do 50 in the morning, 50 at night. And so what we recommend is try different doses to determine what is the most effective for you. And most people start with 2 capsules. Now, for help with your sleep, take it in the evening.
That's very important. I do every day, every evening.
I know you do it every evening. I do it 2 in the morning, 2 at night. And so it aids in a more restful, deeper sleep. But if you're struggling with anxiety and stress, like I know for myself, I take 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and I don't get sleepy during the day, but man, do I sleep good at night. So that's what I do.
That's good.
For my dosage.
Like you said, it differs from individual. So one has to titrate what is the best dose for us.
And so we say, Dr. Prasad would say, start with 1, go to 2, go up to 8, if that's what you feel like you need. Now let's talk about CBD boost and sleep boost. We just launched our special sleep product. Now, I know for people who have a really hard time sleeping, you say CBD boost and sleep boost are a perfect combination for rest. Why don't you talk a little bit about why that is so?
Why it is case? Because, for example, CBD relaxes you. You don't have worry about it. One of the major reasons of sleep disturbance is if you are worried about, you are anxious, you are anxiety. This is the case. So CBD does that. So you are quiet. And then sleeping book said, okay, I will produce certain things like melatonin, and we have some other kind of product like tulsi or ashwagandha. They have been used in Ayurvedic medicine for sleeping for a long time. So they come and like maybe they produce more melatonin. We don't know how they work, but melatonin, we know how it works. And also that the other product that we have in sleeping pill, they are known to reduce have a deep sleep. And so that's why both work by different mechanism, and therefore combination can give you a better sleep.
So the CBD enhances the relaxation before bedtime.
That's right, exactly.
And the sleep boost provides your body the melatonin and the
other thing which are important for the sleep.
And then that's what can help with a deep and
deep
more
sleep.
restorative sleep. Okay. Well, if you really struggle with sleep, if you haven't gotten the sleep boost, get it and try it with CBD boost. We think you're going to love the results.
I do everything. My wife used to complain that I have terrible sleep, and because I'm always thinking about something going on about research. So
right. But I know you've been taking it yourself, and you say you've been having some pretty crazy dreams.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing. Yeah.
So sleep boost and CBD boost are really a perfect combination
for sleep. Yeah,
for people who really struggle with their sleep. Oh, so Dr. Prasad, guess what?
What?
We are announcing right now a flash sale. Drum roll. Tonight, for all of you who are on this call, we've got a special promotion, and it's what we call our flash sale. This is a sale of CBD boost. Buy 2, get 1 free. You'll save $77, $76.99, $77. So this is a big savings for those of you that want CBD boost. We haven't done anything like this for quite a while. So for 24 hours from 6 o'clock Mountain Time from when we started this call till 6 o'clock tomorrow, there is a flash sale happening. You can go online right now into the back office and you can buy CBD boost, buy 2 and get 1 free. Now, the only people that know about this right now are all of you who are on this call.
Yeah.
Get engaged. We are not as a company going to send out any emails. We're not going to send out any text messages. We're not doing any notifications. The reason that we're doing this is we want to make this a special opportunity for all of you who spent this last 45 minutes with us
Yes.
learning more about CBD. Now, if you have people who are family or friends or customers or affiliates in your organization that aren't on this call tonight, of course, you're free to let them know about the sale, but we're just letting you know, Engage is not going to do this. The purpose of this sale is not to try to create more sales of CBD. The purpose of this is to reward you for coming here tonight, and also to help you catch the vision of, if you're engaged, we want to engage with you and provide you an opportunity. So each month as we do these calls with Dr. Prasad, we'll be announcing some flash sales or special promotions, and they'll be unique to just this call. What do you think about that, Dr. Prasad?
I think that's a great idea.
So that concludes our presentation on CBD. Dr. Prasad, is there anything else you'd like to say to anybody?
No, I think it is fantastic that we had a very productive meeting, and maybe in the next meeting we should emphasize stress, depression, and how the combination. Right now we went in a very brief way, but sometimes we can consider is because about 30% of American, and I'm sure worldwide too, they suffer from anxiety and depression, and that leads to suicide as well, and especially our veterans, And so this is very, very, very important topic. And at some point during next 6 months, if, for example, we should have a session like this where we talk about not just the CBD, but all the combination that we discuss in a short, but we can discuss in much more detail how it affects it.
Well, Dr. Prasad, your wealth of knowledge, I think, could take a night every month for the rest of our lives, and we still would just tap into just a little bit of what you have in terms of your knowledge. I know that for me, I consider myself blessed to have met you. Number one, because you've enhanced my health and the health of my family. Thank you for that blessing. Number two, Dr. Prasad, I was in venture capital and finance, and I was chasing that, almighty dollar, doing deals and, involved in over $1 billion of fundings on New York Stock Exchange company, NASDAQ companies. I was a part of that rat race, I would say, of just chasing money and trying to do deals. And here came you into my life in my mid 40s or my late 40s, and you radically transformed my vision and the opportunity for which I get to spend the rest of my life. And that is to join with you in doing calls like this, but even more so building a company, building a community, partnering with these good affiliates and our customers in bringing health and goodness to the world. And I can tell you, every day I wake up with a skip in my step. I wake up with joy in my heart. I'm as happy, if not happier, than I've ever been. And I know a big reason for that is because of you. So I just want to do a personal thank you for not only CBD helping me feel more calm, but you and this mission that we're sharing together of giving me a sense of purpose and meaning and joy and fun. And I think of you who are on this call tonight, how much fun it is to meet with you, to talk to you, to communicate with you. And I see so many of you out there wearing Make Dave Pay hats. And I see people out there with, the mugs of, celebrating our values of being resilient and being real. At Engage, we strive to be resilient. We never quit. We get knocked down 7 times, we get up 8. As you saw tonight with Dr. Prasad's presentation on CBD Boost and talking about some of our other products, we're about excellence. And hopefully you've gotten a sense of our authenticity. And we have nothing to hide. We're not here to tell you or sell you. We're here to educate you so you can make the right decisions for yourselves and bring health and wellness and goodness in your life and the lives of others. And at the bottom of our hearts and at the core and central of our purpose is, I think, Dr. Prasad, you and I share a love for not just life, but a love for bringing good life to others. And so I thank you for sharing that passion tonight with us.
Thank you very much, David. But I tell you, like John said, no matter how best the product I developed, which I have many product developed because you initiated it, without you, it was not possible where we are today. And therefore, I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very thankful that I had a chance to meet you and work together up to this point, and hopefully for next, 10 years, 20, I don't know.
We're thinking 20 years, Dr. Prasad. Dr. Prasad just celebrated his 89th
One
year.
person I just
Why
saw
not
that died at the age of
110?
114. One person in some Peru or someplace
Yes.
died at 114 years old.
Well, look at, there you go. There's our benchmark. We're striving for excellence in life.